your graduation here from Jail Basic 33. And we want to acknowledge the achievements and hard work of this class and welcome distinguished guests and family and friends who are watching by way of YouTube today. I want to thank Manny and Chris in the back for hooking everyone up to the YouTube. Thank you, guys. I want to thank our Academy partnership with the Prince William Criminal Justice Academy. Thanks, Captain. Appreciate it. In the Adult Detention Center Human Resources and Training section for preparing these 17 jail officers for a successful career. We're the only regional jail in Virginia where our staff conduct all the training. Very important here. In this unprecedented time, our staff has done a tremendous job at keeping COVID-19 cases among staff and inmates at a manageable number by following proper procedures throughout their shift. We have seen a year of policy changes, personal protective equipment, temperature checks, mass testing and vaccines for staff and inmates, canceling of inmate programs, and establishing a quarantine pod for newly inmate commits. This idea was recommended by Lieutenant Barker. Where you at, Bob? It was a tremendous idea because those inmates who get arrested, come through our booking area, and we don't want them to end up in general population until they have been quarantined for 14 days, which kept the spread of COVID down. We've had 5 staff hospitalized, no inmates hospitalized, and as a result, also, the court system has helped us out through early releases, which has been a benefit. Today, we have no staff or inmates who are positive. As we celebrate the 39th year of the Prince William-Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center, jail officers at Jail Basic 33 will carry out the mission of maintaining a safe and secure correctional facility while protecting the staff, visitors, inmates, and the community. Also encouraging inmates to participate in good programs and reentry services. These programs have proved to enhance good behavior by the inmates and give them a chance to succeed when they return to the community. I'm recommending the following. Continue your workout program. Take time to familiarize yourself with the entire adult detention center, not just the shift you'll be working on. The more you know, the better. Be accessible to your supervisors. Accept challenges. Represent the ADC in a positive manner, both on and off duty. Let ethics, sound advice, professionalism, and policies be your guide. Take guidance from staff who are positive about their job in the ADC. I know you'll do a great job, and I certainly look forward to watching you grow in your career here. The Adult Detention Center is a vital member of the public safety group, including police, fire, and the Sheriff's Department. Therefore, I'm glad to introduce our guest speaker today, Jail Board Chairman, Sheriff Glenn Hill, who is responsible for this public safety partnership. After a successful career with the Manassas City Police Department, Sheriff Hill was hired by the regional jail prior to the opening of the ADC in 1982. He was instrumental in hiring the original staff for the agency. During his career at the Adult Detention Center, Sheriff Hill was promoted to our superintendent in 1993 and served in this capacity for 10 years. As our leader, he expanded our role in the public safety arena while obtaining a public safety supplement for retirees. He further oversaw our growth and successful expansion of the ADC while developing excellent inmate reentry services to include inmate work release, workforce, and a substance abuse dorm. In 2003, Glenn Hill was elected sheriff of Prince William County and is currently the chairman of the Prince William-Manassas Regional Jail Board. As sheriff, he's been a leader in the community, spearheading and initiating excellent fundraising events and great causes such as Special Olympics. Sheriff?
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. When the superintendent mentioned when I first started, my job was to hire the staff to open the adult detention center, and I guess superintendent is the only one left that I hired back in 1982. So, and I'm really proud of it. So good afternoon. And it's my sincere thanks to family members and friends and supporters who have joined us virtually. And I want to recognize my board members for being here today. I think this is the first time we've had 3 board members to attend our graduation. So thank you for coming. We thank you for your support. And before I begin my speech, I want us to recognize Major Lambert. She will be the named president of the American Jail Association. And I've had the honor of watching Major Lambert grow up ever since she was a young girl. And I'm certainly proud of her accomplishments. So, when she takes over to be the president of the American Jail Association, that's a real big deal, because not only will she be representing the Prince William-Manassas Adult Detention Center, but she will also be representing Prince William County and also the state of Virginia. So that is a huge, huge accomplishment. So please, let's recognize her. It is an honor to stand before you as your guest speaker of Jail Basic 33. I congratulate you as you commence your careers as correctional professionals with the Prince William-Manassas Adult Detention Center. As chairman of the Regional Adult Detention Center Jail Board, I bring you greetings from the entire board. We welcome you to our agency, and we congratulate you on completing your jail basic training. The board would like to thank each of you for choosing to work at the Adult Detention Center. Our goal is to attract and employ and train and retain the best qualified personnel that we can find. Unfortunately, your family and friends cannot be here in person with us today, but COVID-19 restrictions are set in place to keep us safe. I know your family members are very proud and supportive of your accomplishments thus far. As you move forward, keep them informed of your job. Talk to them about what you do at work and about the challenges you encounter daily at work. It can be very helpful to you and very helpful to them. Challenges are part of our job, especially for those of us who manage jails, supervise in the jail, and work in a jail. Adversity is a regular occurrence, with no 2 days ever being the same. Finding immediate solutions is what sets jail officers and correction officers apart from other professions. With that being said, the COVID-19 presented some unusual challenges for our agency. And for the first time in my memory, Americans have been forced to grapple with countless challenges brought on by a global pandemic. The pandemic has placed extraordinary stress on our healthcare system, jails, prisons, and worldwide. It has also been a once-in-a-lifetime learning and improvement opportunity for all of us. When the COVID-19 virus erupted earlier this year, jails and prisons began to prepare for an unprecedented set of circumstances that would test our capabilities. Keeping inmates safe and healthy was naturally a priority for all of us, but so was keeping our staff safe. The pandemic caused jail staff to work with community partners to find innovative ways to maneuver through the pandemic. The Prince William-Manassas Adult Detention Center has done a lot to prevent being ravaged by one of the worst crises we have seen. In jails, it is difficult to practice hygiene and keep inmates a safe distance apart because of our close living quarters. Therefore, the staff must implement some initiatives to protect the facility, and I am extremely proud of the accomplishments that they have made thus far. And I just want to mention a few things. I think the superintendent mentioned a few things about what the staff has done and what the agency have done, but I just want to mention a few. The staff worked with the local health department to provide COVID-19 testing for all inmates and staff. And we were one among the first jails in Virginia to do that. And you increase the use of disinfectants, more jail cleaning, and disinfecting the machine that was purchased to help us clean the facilities. Provide masks for all staff and those incarcerated. Purchase more PPE for staff and inmates. You work with the courts and attorneys for early releases and pretrial diversions. Quarantine newly arrived inmates in isolated cells. Temperature screening of all persons entering the facility at all times. Quarantine of new intake to monitor potential symptoms. And I know the superintendent did not want to do this, but we had to suspend inmate programs and visitation. Extended video conferencing uses with our courts, and encouraged attorneys to utilize video conferencing to communicate with their clients. And finally, we were among, again, the first jails in Virginia to offer vaccine to our inmate population. The goal is plain and simple: to keep staff and inmates safe under these conditions. Graduates, today you are joining men and women who come to work every day to our jails to serve and protect our community. You know, and during this pandemic, Superintendent and I, we had a lot of conversations. And one of the things he mentioned to me more than one time, that is that he had no problem with staff coming to work every day. People did not call in sick. He told me, they offered me all the support that I needed to keep the Adult Detention Center one of the best facilities in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And at this time, I want to thank the staff at the Prince William-Manassas Adult Detention Center for their service and dedication. You are our heroes. In a few minutes, Colonel Melitas, our jail superintendent, is going to present you with your badge and your jail basic certification of completion. You are joining a great team of correctional professionals committed to making a difference, and you are expected to be a team player and make a difference. Although it is the responsibility of the correctional facility to provide opportunity for change, it is not our job to change the inmates. Our job is to offer them the tools for change and to model the behavior society has dictated as the norm. Change must come from within the inmate. During the interview process, when asked, why are you applying for this job? Most of you probably responded by saying, I want to help people. This is a strong testament that most people become jail officers to make a difference. A jail officer is honest, caring, and has good moral character. You exercise these qualities with your coworkers, the community, and the inmates to set a good example and to maintain their integrity of jail operations. Graduates, I want each one of you to become a problem solver. Keep current with jail operational practices and changes in laws related to jail operations. Make suggestions to your supervisors and use your analytical skills to project future issues and the needs of our facility. As a jail officer, you will be continuously subjected to hands-on interaction with inmates, thus exposing yourself to an environment where individuals are depressed, angry, demanding, and physically and mentally ill. The environment in and itself can bring down the best jail officers during a weak moment. If you feel you're having a weak moment, rely on your faith. I think the chaplain kind of mentioned that a few minutes ago. And the training you have received over the last 12 weeks. Say to yourself, I am a unique individual. I am performing a job that a lot of people will not and cannot do. I firmly believe jail officers are role models for inmates. So be the best that you can be. You can make a difference in the lives of those you supervise. Always stay focused. Remember your training. Do not forget the code of ethics. Please do not forget the code of ethics. Be a team player and always promote a professional image for the Prince William-Manassas Adult Detention Center. Congratulations to Jail Basic Class number 33. Stay safe and may God bless you and your families.
I'd now like to have the class speaker for Jail Basic 33, Officer Brianna Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Officer Jones, and it is my pleasure to speak and welcome our staff, friends, and family to the Prince William County Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center Jail Basic Class of 33. From day one, I knew the upcoming 3 months would be interesting, from marching around the annex and not only putting the jail on lockdown because we look like well-organized protesters. From that day, that's how we came up with our call-out name, MSC Lock 'em Down. We started this journey not knowing everyone, but together as one that would determine our strength, courage, ability, and fellowship with one another. We learned early on that we are a diverse group. We all come from different aspects of life, prior law enforcement, military, and other positions. Throughout, we divided into our own groups at times, even gotten frustrated with one another, all while listening to Officer Johnson, also known as the professor, telling us what we should do and what we shouldn't do about everything. But we all stuck together to get the job done. These last 3 months have been challenging, competitive, exciting. We survived the weekly testing. In the words of Officer Dance, is that going to be on the test? The physical activities, defense tactics, the firing range, even on cold days, EVOP, and the worst of it all, OC spray. And to sum it all up, it wouldn't have been as fun as it would without Officer Mazzari antics. The vigorous training has prepared us for the tasks of our daily assignments. I see future leadership, MJOs, sergeants, first sergeants, lieutenants, captains, major, and superintendents. I see the potential to succeed. We strive these last 3 months, Jail Basic 33. Continue to do your best, work hard, be professional, maintain honesty, and always have integrity. This graduation is an accumulation of a lot of hard work, sacrifices, and we are proud of our accomplishments. They are counting on us. Be safe, and thank you all who came out today to support. And again, thanks to the entire Academy staff for their efforts, experience, knowledge, and our administrative staff for allowing us to have this platform. On the behalf of Jail Basic 33, I would like to present this plaque to Colonel Melides.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Miss Jones, you're gonna have to get over that shyness of yours.
All righty. Well, good afternoon, 33. You did it. All righty. Today's a milestone. This tells you where you've come. You need to keep learning. You need to keep trying. I'm very proud of each and every single one of you. We have several awards to present today. First being our top academic awards. Over the 12 weeks, the recruits class have had subjects in common law, Fourth Amendment, mental health, and interpersonal communications. We have 3 top academic leaders today. It was pretty tough. When we're grading tests, we're very supportive. We're getting some great scores. One question separated our third and second person. One question. And if we did the math even further, a question and a half separated each and every single one of them. Our third highest academic student with a 94.11, Officer Joshua Klein. Congratulations. Our second highest academic student with a 94.25, Officer Sarah Kennett. Our top academic student with a 95.54, Officer Cameron Mazhari. All right. Yeah. I'll let you in on a little secret. That one's a little special to me. I've known him since he's been about yay tall. So that was a little special to me. Our next award is going to go to the top skills. This award goes to students who achieved the highest score in the following: EVOC, firearms, and defensive tactics. Our top 3 students are as followed. Third highest skill award with a 97.3, Mr. Eric Lindsay, Officer Lindsay. Our second highest skill award with a 97.5, Officer Michael Luigi. Our top skill award with a 98.5, Officer Joshua Klein. Our next award will be presented by Major Lambert.
Congratulations to all of you. So I'm here to present the Dennis Webb Award, but before I do so, I want to recognize some of the staff that came to support you all today. In the back, your executive staff, Captain McMahon, Captain DePoy, Captain West, Captain Herlock, but tomorrow, Major Herlock, right? Congratulations. Over on the left, you've got Watch Commander Lieutenant Barker, Watch Commander Lieutenant Creighton, First Sergeant Daly, First Sergeant Flournoy. Thank you guys for coming. And I would be remiss in not mentioning that Lieutenant Powell, who has led this charge your entire time, the last 12 weeks, is Captain Powell tomorrow. He's going to be missed a lot. So this award is special to all of us for a lot of reasons. It's the only award that is decided on by you all. So you guys decide who gets this award. I spent a lot of time with the person that this award is named for. As the sheriff mentioned, I'm going to be taking over as president of the American Jail Association. I've had to start writing my speech, right? And I think about my time sitting in your shoes. By the way, I took the academic in my class too. Congratulations. That was 1985. And you think back on the mentors that you will have throughout your career. And Dennis Webb was one of my mentors, amongst others. I'm not going to give away my speech yet, but amongst others. But Dennis truly was probably one of the best mentors that anybody could have. And it will resonate once I tell you a little bit about Dennis. He began his career with the old sheriff's office. So as the colonel has alluded to, in 1982, the regional jail was formed. Prior to that, it was a sheriff-run jail, little tiny jail set across on the judicial complex, but kind of across the way. He worked there. He was responsible when the regional jail was comprised of training new staff. He trained the colonel, right? He trained thousands of officers across the Commonwealth of Virginia. We train our own staff now, but before that, we were with a local criminal justice academy in Rappahannock, and Dennis Webb was responsible for providing a lot of that training. He was a general instructor. He was a firearms instructor. He was a first aid instructor, defensive tactics instructor. He was a pioneer, and he's left his fingerprints all over the agency. And I don't know that anybody here will ever forget Dennis. He did a lot for disaster management. He responded when there were hurricanes down south. He did a lot of humanitarian things along with his responsibility to this agency. Dennis started as a deputy. He rose to the rank of captain with us. And he served many years before he left our agency to become chief deputy in Arlington. We were all devastated when he left us, just devastated. I could go on and on and on about his professional achievements, but let me tell you a little bit about his character, because as I think most of the speakers have implied, your character is what you need to be a successful jail officer. He was a great man of great faith. He was an excellent listener, right? You have to be a good listener. He had great communication skills with not only staff, but our inmate population. He was deeply involved in our community. He was an innovator. He was a progressive thinker, right? So important to be progressive. That's what we consider ourselves in this agency, and we expect you all to continue that progressive movement forward. He always believed in second chances. This is all advice I'm giving you guys, if you're not getting it yet, okay? He was very energetic. He had the most infectious smile of anybody you'll ever meet. And he gave great hugs. Unfortunately, COVID has prevented that from occurring, right? He would not have liked COVID. He was a mentor to many, as I mentioned before. He could discipline you without making you feel small or trying to make himself look big. He was humble, and he was absolutely full of life. He left this world way too soon. On November 7th or 10th, 2007, he and his wife were delivering donations to Goodwill, right? He died in a tragic car accident as he was pulling into the Goodwill parking lot. Just the day before that, we had an academy graduation. Now remember, he was with Arlington at that point as chief deputy, but he made his way here to congratulate those academy graduates at the time and to spend some time with us. That was ironic, but we were so fortunate to have that day before the tragic event that occurred with Dennis. He spent that afternoon visiting with us. Something that would have ended at 2 probably lasted until about 5 that day. We're grateful that he did stop by. He was a great friend. He was a great mentor, a man of integrity and good, solid ethics, a wonderful trainer. What I'm trying to tell you is don't stop here. Keep going. Be positive. Be Dennis, right? So the cadet that received this award, named after Captain Webb and a former friend, voted on by you, the class, is Officer Brianna Jones.
Good afternoon. 33, are you about ready to seal the deal and get this official? Yes, sir. It is now my pleasure to introduce the clerk of the Circuit Court of Prince William County, Miss Jacqueline Smith, to prescribe your oath of office. Jail Officer Basic 33, attention. Miss Smith.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and to faithfully and impartially discharge all the duties incumbent upon me as a jail officer with the Prince William-Manassas Regional Detention Center to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Ready? Seat. You've heard many speakers this afternoon, and I've been asked to keep my comments brief. Excuse me. It's been a long 12 weeks, and we're not going to reteach the whole 12 weeks, but I want to revisit a couple of things, and you've heard some of them early on here. You've achieved the objectives. 12 weeks ago, we showed you a manual full of hundreds of objectives that you must have been successful at to be sitting here today. You have done that. But it's one thing having the skill to meet the objective, and another thing to take that objective and master it. As Major Lambert just told you, do not stop here. Take pride in your work. Shine. In my years as a jailer, I can tell you there is no greater reward than an inmate getting released and they see you and they turn and smile and look in your eyes because you were the role model they needed. We know our job, as the chaplain mentioned, is oftentimes intense. We got to keep our head in the swivel in the back of that jail. Well, we're not going to relive again all those lessons, but please keep everything in your mind. Keep your eyes open. You've been trained to identify people in crises, people who may be suffering mental illness, depression, suicidal, and those that have the good things going on in their life. Be that role model. Apply the appropriate supervisory technique for the situation you find yourself in. You know I'm an instructor, and I can talk all day. You've been very familiar with that. But I do have two challenges for you, and one is master those objectives and become the best you can be. And the second one is make us as proud of you tomorrow as we are of you today. If I could please ask Colonel Miletus and Sheriff Hill to step forward for the presentation of certificates. As your name's called, please step forward. Officer Erica Bannon. Officer Joshua Klein. Officer Terrell Dance.
Yes, sir.
You're not recruiting, are you,
No,
Sheriff?
no, no.
Officer Brooke Downs. Officer Gabriel DeWyan. Officer Robert Johnson. Officer Brianna Jones. Officer Sarah Kennett. Officer Chantel Simmons. Officer Eric Lindsay. Officer Michael Luigi. Officer Cameron Mazhari. Officer Mitchell Murray. Officer Zachary Knoll. Officer Shola Ogulana. Officer Brennan Rawls. Officer Prince Yawson. Thank you, Colonel. Sheriff. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in another round of applause for the graduating class. It is now my honor to present for the last time publicly Lieutenant Robert Powell.
You all have been an outstanding class, and I do appreciate all y'all's hard work. MJO Collins, dismiss your class for the final time.
Prince William County Criminal Justice Academy Jail Officer Basic 33. Attention! It's been 12 weeks of hard work. I'm proud of every one of you. And I'm proud to call you my brothers and my sisters. Jail Basic 33, dismissed.
All right, award winners, don't forget your pictures, please.
Very well.